Good evening, my little potato chips. How you doing? Wee Paddy from across the shuck here. And I'm very pleased to be bringing you another Jack Wolf Knives release, which is just amazing. And there's a difference with this one. It doesn't quite suit my use. For a reason I'll explain later. There's nothing wrong with the knife. This knife is one of the most beautiful. Anyway, look, this is what you get inside the box. You also get the beautiful box with the embossed writing. It's soft touch. It's like velvet. I don't know how to do that, but it's just gorgeous. There's a story about Ben's grandfather, who was called Jack Wolf Belkin, and Ben, obviously Ben Belkin there. So this is his interpretation of a slip joint knife. Now, look at this. Beautiful Barlow. I love a Barlow. So this is one that wasn't even on the released. I haven't seen this before it came, or before I watched a couple of videos of it. But this is beautiful in the coffin shape. You can see it's narrow, broader, lovely shape. So if you're lying in the coffin this way, your shoulders can get in. Brilliant. I think we've covered the coffin, but a just beautiful knife. So before I get there, look at this artwork by Sean Tiffany, who has done things for Marvel and other American companies. Just fantastic. This is called the Jack Wolf Midnight. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful artwork. And again, another one for a collection. I've got 4 now, and I just love them. What else do you get? You get this fantastic sticker. Isn't that just... I'm going to try and get this on my car somewhere, because I just love that. It really is just sexy. Anyway, there's that. Oh, do you know what I could do? An old tax disc. You can actually slip that in the tax stick and put it in the insert. That's what I'm going to do. I'll show you when I've done that. So you get that, and then you get the POG. I've no idea what POGs are. I never played POGs, but I've got the POG, and I like the fact that I've got it, and it looks lovely. There's the 4 I've got up there. And this time a lovely big green cloth. Now, to be quite honest with you, I use one. Where is my one? Oh, here it is in the drawer here. I've been using this one, and I'll use it till it's dirty. Then I'll wash it and just reuse it and keep these until this one's done, because they're just fantastic fiber cloths. Just fantastic. So there's that. You also get, and this month, it's a darker slip for it. It is beautifully done. Really is just a lovely slip. Fits the knife perfectly, and it goes with the colour. Now, this is probably my least favourite colour of the micarta, but that's all right. I have a solution for that. And this is going to be a little... Because, look, I know Ben doesn't give us any directions on what we have to say about the knives. That's up to us. And I know I'm getting, a very expensive... I really do feel blessed that I'm getting these knives. These are outstanding knives of quality that I've never seen. It's not something I've ever had in slip joints. They are perfect in my eyes. You can't find a... Look at that back spring. And these back springs are tough back springs. Look at the detail, how just completely perfect these cutouts are to make the coffin. It is just beautiful. You got a 3-ring bolster. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this colour for the bolster in a Barlow. And then you get this blade just to... Listen to that. Look at that blade. Come on. Just come on. It's called a sheep's foot. I would have called it a ram's foot, because normally a ram's foot is thinner here and broader at the tip, but whoever makes them calls them. So it's a sheep's foot, and I don't care, because it is absolutely beautiful. I've just used it there, cutting some boxes up in the kitchen. Absolutely beautiful. So thin behind the edge. Just gorgeous. Really, really nice. But, and here's the but, I've never had to say a but about Jack Wolf knives. These corners down here, because anybody who knows my channel, I've got very delicate hands now that I don't work manually. I work manually a lot of my life, and I used to have hands like old boots. You couldn't have done anything. But I've got, I get very inflamed, and skin peels off my hands. Sometimes you've seen it if you've seen my channel. I'm pretty good at the minute, but if I was to use this on a regular basis, this sits in here beautifully. everything about it is beautiful, except these corners at the back here, and maybe depending on where I grip it. If I get my back finger off there, I don't feel it, but I'm having to physically put. When you get the knife, you just want to lift it up and use it. And when I'm using that, these corners are a bit sharp. Now, that's nothing. This is not a complaint on the makers. I wouldn't want them to make it any different, because this is a knife that a lot of people are going to keep in a collection. They're not going to heavy use it or anything. So if you're just doing normal EDC, it's a wee cut. You're not worried about long term. But I want to use this. This blade is just one of my favourite shapes for work, right? So I want to use this. Look, I've been given this for nothing, so why not take the chance to use a really good knife? And I've been using my other ones. This is my other user. I really enjoy this. This is the Wharncliffe in micarta. I love the green micarta, and the black micarta I like. I haven't got a black micarta yet, but that'll come. But this is there's nothing wrong with it. And look, when I bring it up, this is the sort of one people really enjoy. It's just, to me, it's just a wee bit light for a worker. So this will tone down in colour because it's micarta. And here's the two things I'm going to do to this knife, and I'm going to do it so you don't have to, or I'm going to do it that if you want to, you're going to see the results of it. Does that make any sense? I'm worth risking it because I'm going to use it anyway. It's not, I'm not going to do anything that's going to destroy it, but it'll maybe affect the resale, but these knives are not given to me for resale value. They're given to me to use and do the things that I would do to any knife that I get. And when I want to change something, I'll change it. So what I'm going to do to the corners, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. This is one of my wife's little nail files that she uses for nails, a buffer. It's very, very soft. So what I'm going to do is just go over and just touch the corners. Do you see, like this? Now, I know that I've defaced the knife already, but I just want this knife to be usable for me. Look, I probably wouldn't get a rash by it just rubbing. But if I had to use it, I want to know that I can. I might never need to use it that hard, that this would be a problem. But I'm doing this so that you can see, and I can tell you what it's like with a little small touch-up with just this little file. You can see it sort of taking that sharp edge off there, can you? I'm just going to bring that. You can see it just... Let me just get my hand behind here. There you go. You can see it's just... I'm only just taking off the edge. And then on the corners, I do it a wee bit more, but I'm taking it off the edge all the way around. I know Ben's probably sitting in his house with his eyes covered. What's that silly Irishman doing? But, I mean, there's no point having a knife if I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to do it. It's my knife and I'm going to do it. But I can let you know so that maybe this will wreck it and it'll not do it any good. But at least I've done it for you. And if you had the same thought that these were a bit rough in the hand, and you're going to use the knife, you're not going to do this if you're going to save the knife as a keepsake, which these can be. There's no, look, for the money that they charge, it's not outrageous money. For what I'm getting, I just think they're fantastic value. They're super. So I'm only going to do this side, and then I'll let you know what it's like in my hand. Oh, already better. Already better. Now, look, if I show you now, let's get this hand behind it. You can't really, there's that side, right? And there's the other side. Can you see? I've just literally took the sharp edge off that and that side there. Very, very little. I don't want to do any more than that. I just want it so it's not sticking into me. And sort of, it's nearly, my skin cuts up, so it's going to stop that. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything. To me, once I've carried this and used it, that will colour over and you'll never know the difference. So it came out really well. This is incredibly fine. Can you see? It's incredible. It will take material off. So I'm just gonna let you see what this is like. Which side did I do? Yeah, I took it off the wrong blooming side, you dimwit. I took it off the wrong bloody... Doesn't matter. I would be doing both sides anyway. I just want to get it off so that it's... You see, I love doing things like this with a knife. This makes this knife mine now. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm going to sell it on, you have to tell people, look, I've done it. I've rounded these ends over a little bit. And be honest with people. It's not going to affect the knife. And, this is not for... mine are not for resale. Unless I go to the poorhouse before the next knife. So I'm just going to get them corners. I don't want to touch the titanium, but you know, again, it's going to be a loser. Right, there we go. I've got both sides. Just really, really, honestly, I haven't used much of the... Right. This little top corner, I can just feel it. God, I'm being pernickety now. Do you ever do this with your knives? I do it with a lot of knives. I take down little edges, especially when you've got micarta. It's the perfect vehicle for doing it. Oh man, that is just so much better. So much better, because it's going to be a user. That is so much better. And literally you can't, unless you look at the edges, you'll not be able to tell. Look, I've just rounded them edges, but it's not taken away from the shape of the knife, is it? I mean, you couldn't tell that. That is absolutely amazing. So again, be careful. Use very, very fine abrasive, whatever you want to use. But that's just my wife's little one of her sticks for her nails. That has changed the knife perfectly for me. And again, there was nothing wrong with the knife, just for me. I wanted the rounded edge, so it wasn't... If I had to use this, I could use this for hours now. And honestly, that's the truth. So, now, I said I didn't like the colour of that. So, what am I going to do? I think I'll be the first person to do this with one of Ben's knives. I don't know whether he's tried it, but I'm going to. So I'm going to take off the scales. I'll do it tomorrow, and then on my Sunday live, I'll reveal the knife, what it looks like, because it'll be dried out by then. I'll be able to use it and carry it. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, which will be Saturday. I'll do it. I'll writ dye them, and this is red. This is Racing Red. I've used this before on bone. It came out beautifully on a GEC, which again, it's not a lot of people do it. Because it's a GEC, people wouldn't do it. I will, because they're my knives and I want to use them and I want them to look good. So I'm going to do this now or tomorrow with this Racing Red. And because that's like a beigey colour, I'm hoping I'll get a deep red, maybe even maroon colourish. That's what it came out in bone. On a similar coloured bone, it came out maroonish. So I'm going to try it with that tomorrow, and I'll let you see on Sunday just what it's like. And by then, I'll have had this knife, well, I'll have had it a couple of days. I'll do some cutting with it as normal. It's just, honestly, that edge, it's just a cut machine. This is a real, I mean, these two knives here, are you going to get better work knives? I just don't think you are. I really don't think you're going to get better work knives than them two knives. Beautiful. This is obviously a bit bigger than the Wharncliffe. The blades, you know, there's not that much difference. What is that? Let me look over my... It's only about an 1/8 of an inch difference, really. That's all it is. And it's about a 1/4 of an inch down there at the bottom. So not that much difference. Let's bring the measurement up. This one overall is 6 3/4. And this one is... Sorry, this is 6 5/8. And this one is 6 1/2. So I don't know what I was reading the first time, no idea. But the cutting edge, Ben has been really good. The cutting edge in these is well below. It's 2 3/4. The 3 inches long, but the cutting edge is 2 3/4. Fantastic. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't come any better. So there you go. I'll take this one away. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, there's a wee bit of oil coming out here. Or maybe just put a wee bit too much. But I always put a tiny wee drop in. But that'll soon settle down. And absolutely beautiful. The grind is just lovely. I love the grind lines. I'm trying to speak too fast, you see. Don't want to bury you. So these are going to become available on the 15th of July. They're going to be available here in the UK. And the other little card that I get from Priamar Knives, and you'll get from Priamar Knives, is just a simple little card, done a beautiful envelope. I mean, it's the box itself comes wrapped in brown paper and tied with string. It's like old school Mama's and Papa's store. I love it. I love it. So Priamar Knives. They are the chaps that are selling it in the UK, the only dealer in the UK that's selling it. Now, I've said this before, and I hope you remember, we're getting twice the amount of knives that we've had in the first couple of runs. So there's more chance of getting them. There's no knives being sold from his stock until 1900, 7 o'clock on the 15th of July. They'll go on sale, so you'll go onto their website, framarknives.co.uk, you'll get it. Go onto their website and order the knife at 7 o'clock. Do not hang about because they go so quickly. Get there. Just if you're at work, get your wife to do it. Just make sure it's set up for her to do it. They are just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I genuinely, this was a surprise. And when you get a surprise like that, let me tell you, that is beautiful. And honestly, see that little bit of filing that I done? What a difference in my hand. Now, again, I have delicate hands, so there you go. That just done the trick. It's beautiful. I'm over the moon that worked, and it doesn't look, it really, I'm going to have to show you again. I'm showing off at my absolute skill with a bit of, look at that. You wouldn't know that now. You couldn't pick that out as if somebody had filed it. But when you turn it to the edge, you can see the corners are just ever so slightly turned round. That's all they are, ever so slightly. And it doesn't affect the look of the knife. I love it like that. Definitely an improvement. But you don't have to do it. I'm doing it because I want this to be as much as a user knife as, this knife can ever be. I don't want to baby this one. This is one I'll use for work along with that Wharncliffe. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So these are about $250, and the fat carbon fiber, which is purple, which looks amazing, are $275. So that's really, you're getting M390 steel. They're screwed together. Don't take them apart. Don't take them apart just for the sake of it. Ben has a video. If you go onto Ben's Instagram and follow it, the links to his channel, and he has a wee video showing it taken apart. You shouldn't. It's a slip joint. You never need to take them apart unless something drastic happens. But I'm going to take the scales off because that should be okay. If there's no difference in colour, Ben will tell me, no, that's not a good idea. And then I'll decide then. But I'm hoping Ben's not annoyed at me. I know he's not annoyed at me. Ben is not that sort of dealer. Ben wants his knives to be used, but he'll also enjoy them if they're not used and they're just kept as keepsakes, because this is heirloom quality. Absolutely heirloom quality. I love it. Looking forward to Sunday to see it in red or maroon, whatever colour it comes out. I'll do that, and I'll show you on Sunday. There you go. I'm so excited. I want to dye scales on a £250 knife. Love it. Right, take care. Paddy's away. Bye-bye now.